Hello guys, it is Shivam here. So, welcome to our part 5 of Awesome Flutter chat app series. This will be last part of this series. So, by the end of it, you will have a fully functional app to proudly add to your app bucket list or showcase on your resume. But this is just a beginning. I am committed to bringing you more in-depth tutorials and amazing projects and valuable content in future. So do not forget to hit that subscribe button below. So let's get started. But before moving to the last part of our awesome chat app series, I want to show how our app will communicate between the two devices. On the left side, you can see the screen recording of my real Android device where I run the app. So I will create a new account in my real device. So I am writing here name Satyam Sharma and email satyam244@gmail.com and will give password and confirm password. Now I will click on the sign up button, wait for a few seconds. So as you can see, we have registered successfully. Now I will move to the our iPhone emulator and I will create a new account to this device. So in name I am writing Prem Sharma and email I will give prem345@gmail.com. Now password and confirm password. Click on the sign up button. Wait for a few seconds. So as you can see, we have registered successfully. Now I will search for the username Satyam here that we have created the account on my real device. So I will search Satyam here. Now you can see the username here. I will click to the username and will move to the chat page. Now I will write the text inside the text field. So hey, now after sending the message, you can see that Satyam have received the message from Prem in just few seconds. Now I will reply to the Prem, which is our emulator. So as you can see, we have received the message, hey here. Now I will write how are you doing and will send the message, and we received the message in our emulator in few seconds. So as you can see, our app is running successfully in all the device, and you can see the real-time chat what I am talking about. So now Satyam send the message to Prem and Prem have received the message in just few seconds. So as you can see how the two devices are communicating each other or sending the message very easily, and they are getting the message in just few seconds. So this is what you will see at the end of this video. So if you have missed any of the video from this chat app series, you can find the link of the playlist in the description box. So now let's move to our last part and complete our chat app. So now let's move to the home page of the app. Now I will search a Shivansh username using a search text field here. So I will write Shivansh here. Now I will click on the Shivansh username and will move to the chat room where me and Shivansh can have the real-time chat. Now I will move to the text field at the bottom where I can send the chat or message directly to the Shivansh. So I am writing a text inside the text field, and I want that when I click on the send button, then this text I have wrote inside the text field should move to the Shivansh, and this message will be seen inside the chat room. So to handle the text inside the text field, I will need a text editing controller here. So I will move to the chat page .dart file here and will write text editing controller controller equals to new text editing controller. So now let's move to the text field and I will write controller message controller. So now I will write a function name add message here that will be called whenever I click on the send icon here. Inside the add message I have mentioned bool send clicked. Now if the user click on this send icon here, then we'll make the send clicked to true and we can use a function inside the add message according to that. So I am writing if message controller dot text is not equals to null, then we will store a text inside the text field in the message string using message controller dot text. Now after storing the message, I will make message controller dot text equals to space. The reason for doing that is because I want that whenever the user sends the first text here, for an example hello, if we write hello and he clicks on the send icon here, then message controller.text will be null and it will allow the user to send the second message to the user he has having a chat. Now I will use a map string dynamic message info map. Now inside the map I will write a message and will pass a text where we have stored our text that user have wrote on this text field. So writing a message string here. Now I will write send by and in send by I will pass my username here. So again I will use a shared preference method to get my username what we have done on the home.dart file. So I am writing a string here my username and will try to get all the details about me in those strings through a shared preference method. So now I will use a get the shared PREF function to get my username here and we will write my username equals to await and will use a shared preference helper class and will get the username by get username function here. Now I will get my all details one by one using a get user function here. So we will do same for the pic, display name and the email. And we will use a set state here so that whenever we call a get shared preference method and we can store all the details on each string here and using a set state method we can rerun the app again. Now we will again use a on the load function that we have used same on the home.dart page and we'll call a shared preference method here and we'll use a set state method again. So inside init state I will on the load function. The reason for writing the on the load function inside the init state is because as I want that the get the shared preference method will be called as soon as the user will move to the chat page. So init state is that type of function which calls first and then the whole function starts after the init state function has called. Now in send by I will write my username here. I'm writing TS here. Basically TS stands for timestamp here. As you can see on the home page, you can see all the previous chat of the users with a last chat they have received on the chat room with the time. So to store the time, I need a timestamp here. So I'm writing a timestamp using a date time now function. Basically, date time function help us to get the exact time when the user have sent the message to the specific user inside the chat room. So I will write date time now and date time dot now function to get the current time. Now I want that to show the time in hour and minute format. So I need to write a string named formatted date here and will pass a date in the way we want. So I'm writing date format here and will pass a formatted date how we want in our formatted date string. But to get a formatted date here, I need to move to the perf.def file and copy the intl package from there and paste it inside the perspecml file. Basically, intl is that type of package which help us to format a date according to our choice. Like it helps us to write the date in terms of year, minutes, seconds, milliseconds, etc. So now inside the date format, I want in hour and minute form. So inside the inverted commas, I will write hour colon and in minute format. This will help us to get the format in hour and minute form. So now I'll copy that string inside the ts. Now I am writing the time again. Basically this time will help us to arrange the text according to our choice. For example, as you have seen on the server that whenever we are sending a text here inside the chat room, then all the text are mixing together. But we don't want them in the random order. Now we want that the new text should be appear first, then the text we have texted before. So we will do that by using a server timestamp here so that we can manage the server time according to our choice. Don't need to worry if you are getting confused why I am using a time here. As we move on with the app, you will get why I have wrote time here inside the map. In short, I can tell you that writing time is very important inside the map function to display our message in some sequence so that user can know what chat they have received rather than getting the all the chats in the random form. Now inside the image URL, I will pass my profile pic here. So let me explain you how this map will work. Basically, inside the chat room, as you can see, there is a chat room ID. When we will send this map, then it will create one collection named chats here, and inside the chats collection, all the message will be stored. So I am writing if here. Now inside the if function, I need to call a message ID here because I want to provide a specific message ID to the each message user is sending to the other user. So inside if I'm writing if message ID is equals to null or space, then I will pass a message ID with a random alphanumeric character here. And basically inside the collection chats, first message ID will be appear, and inside that message ID there will be a message we will send to the other user. Now I will create a database.dart function here so that I can send the message to the Firebase Firestore. So let's move to the database.dart file, and I will create a function name add message here that will be called whenever we send the message to the user inside the chat room. So in string I will pass a specific chat room ID that I have showed you in Firebase Firestore. Now I will also pass a specific message ID and will write a map string dynamic. Inside the string dynamic I will pass a message info map. Firebase Firestore dot instance dot collection. Now inside the collection I will write a chatrooms here. Basically this is what I am talking about. Now in doc will pass a chatroom ID. This chatroom ID dot will make one more collection here named chats. Inside the chat I will pass a specific message ID. So I am writing doc message ID, and we'll use a set method to set the message inside the chats collection here. Now let's move to the chat page again. So now database methods dot add message, and inside the chatroom ID I will pass a chatroom ID here. So the chatroom ID will be same what we have wrote on the home.dart file, but before that I am writing a string name chatroom ID here, and we will move to the home.dart page and will copy the same get chatroom ID by username function from here and paste it inside the chat page, which will help us to get the chatroom ID. So now inside the chatroom ID string I will store my chatroom ID widget.username. Basically widget.username is the username we are having a chat, and here I will pass my username. So I will write chatroom ID. Now message ID, and same for the message info map. Basically we have stored message ID string inside the null string. So we will remove the space here and will write if message id is equals to null, then we will pass a random alphanumeric 10. So after passing the add message function, I want to update the last message sent by the user. So I will use a dot then method here so that it will be called once the add message function is done. So I will write again a map string dynamic and will write a last message info map. So let me explain you why I have wrote last message info map here. The reason for writing is because as you saw on the home page of the app, there is a username, and just below that there is the last message which has been sent by the user or received by the user. So to show the last message there on the home page, we need to keep updating the last message that has been sent inside this chat room. So to do that, I will pass last message inside the chat rooms. So inside the last message, I will copy the same message string here and will write a last message send timestamp where we will pass a time when was the last message has been sent. So now, as we need to upload the last message inside the chat room, so I will write a function name update last message send. Inside that string, I will pass a specific chat room ID and will pass a map string dynamic last message info map. Firebase Firestore dot instance dot collection chat rooms dot doc will pass a specific chat room ID and will use a dot update method here. The reason for using dot update method is because I want that whenever the user send the message or receive the message inside the specific chat room, then the last message keep on updating whenever both the users send the message to the specific chat room. That will help us to get the last message sent by any of the two users inside the specific chat room. So if you want to know more about dot update, dot delete, dot set, this type of function, then you can find the one of our video link in the description box. Basically, I have made that video on Firebase CRUD that will tell you in more detail of how to create, read and update and delete the data inside the Firebase Firestore. So you can have the look on that video too, so that you can get the clear cut clarity of what all things and functions we are writing inside the database .dart file. You will find that link in the description box. So it is done. Now let's move to the chat page again and we will call this function. So I am writing database methods update the last message that has been sent by the user. So database method dot update last message sent and will pass a specific chatroom ID. So I will write a if function here and will call a send clicked what I have told. So if send clicked is true, then we'll make a message ID to space. This is because I am doing that. I want that unique message ID whenever the user is sending the message to the specific user inside this chat room, because this will help us to manage the each message inside this chat room. Now we'll wrap up the container with a gesture detector. So now I will perform the hot restart again and will write a username and will move to the chat page. So inside this chat room, I am writing a first text here, hello, what are you doing? And will send this text. For now, you can't see the text inside the chat page, but because we have didn't call the function to get the chat message inside the chat page, but message has been sent to the Firebase Firestore. So let's move to the Firebase Firestore. So after refreshing the page, as you can see, here is the last message what I am talking about. So in last message sent by, you can see my username and the time when I have sent the last message, and you can see the chats collection here, and this is a unique message ID I am talking about. Inside this message ID there is a specific chat we have sent to the other user. So I made a small mistake here. As I told you, message ID has been stored inside the string where it is null. So if send is clicked, then will pass message ID null, then the space here, because again the app will check if the message ID is null, then he will provide a random message ID here. Will perform hot reload. Now I'm writing again, how are you doing, brother? Now we'll click on the send icon, and as you can see, last message has been updated here with how are you doing, brother? And you can see that the we have added the message ID inside the chats collection, and you can see the message here. So we'll again send a second message, such a good day to have, and the same thing happens in the Firebase Firestore. So we are sending the message inside the chat room successfully. So our step 1 is done. Now we will call each message inside the chat room, and we will display that inside the chat page here. So to get the message, I will create a widget named chat message, and inside the chat message I will return stream builder. Let me explain you why I have used a stream builder here. Basically, stream builder is something which help us to get the data from Firebase Firestore. Is something like whenever we make any changes to the Firebase Firestore, like we will add a message here inside the chat page, but we want a quick update of quick update that message has been sent and inside sent to the Firebase Firestore, and that message will be shown in the app in few seconds. So to show the message in the few seconds from Firebase Firestore, we will use a stream builder here. It shows us a quick update in few seconds whenever we make any changes or add any new things in Firebase Firestore. So as a developer, I will recommend you to always use a stream builder whenever you want to show any collections or field from Firebase Firestore. So we'll pass a stream here, and let me create a stream. So I will create a stream name message stream here, and will pass a stream to the stream builder, and will return using snapshot dot hash data. So we'll First, check that if the data is available on this specific collection we have passed in this stream. If there is a data, then we'll use a list view builder to show all the chats from the Firebase Firestore. So I will keep some padding here. Now I will write item count. This will help us to count all the docs or document that we have passed inside the chats collection. Now I am doing reverse to true. The reason for doing reverse is true is because if I do reverse to true, then it will show us the message from the bottom. So like whenever I type any text inside the text field and will click on the send icon, then the last message will be shown first, then the previous message at the top. Now if I don't do it to true, then the message we have sent first will go to the top and the last message will show at the bottom, which will not give a right way to handle the chat app when the user is texting the other user inside the specific chat room. These are the common function you can see in the most of the apps like WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, etc. So we are trying to get all these features what this big app does inside their app for the better experience for the user who is chatting in our app. So for this idea you can hit the like button. So this will help us to get more support to us to create a more functions like that. Now document snapshot ds snapshot.data.docs. Basically this function will help us to get a data from the specific document here. Now I will create a widget name chat message tile here and will write string message and bool sent by me. In string message we will pass the message that the user write on this text field, and by bool sent by me function we will check that if the message has been sent by me or not. Basically chat message style is all the chat message that you can see currently on this chat page. So we'll return with a row main axis alignment and we will check the if the message has been sent by me or not. If the message is sent by me, then we will move to the row at the end, I mean at the right side of the screen. And if it is not, then we'll move to the left side of the screen. So this will help the user to get to know what message has been sent by him and what message he has get from the other user he has having a chat. And I will pass a container and will wrap up the container with a flexible widget here. Basically flexible widget is something that makes our container flexible. Basically when there is text inside the specific container, as you can see on the chat page, might be that the some text would be of just 2 word or 5 word or 6 word. So it will make the our container flexible and will provide the width of the container according to his choice. Basically flexible is something which makes your app very responsive and give a better experience to the user. So I am providing a margin from horizontal and vertical will provide decoration, box decoration, border radius, dot only, top left, and will provide a radius to the container, and bottom right. And here I am using a send by me here is because, as you can see, if the message is sent by me, I mean the message who are in the right position, there we don't need any circular container from the bottom right position. But if the message is sent by the other user, then we need the circular from the bottom right position. So I am writing a send by me and will provide a radius 0. That means that we don't need any circular radius when the message has been sent by me. In both the cases, top right is circular, so I am providing it to 24. Now, bottom left. So, if the message is sent by me, then we'll make it to circular, and if not, then we will not make the radius to circular and will provide the value 0. Now I will provide the color to this container. So as you can see, if the message is sent by me, then there is a different color, and if the message is sent by the other user, then it is a different color. So I will use a send by me function inside the color here, and will pass the two color using a send by me boolean character. Now I will provide a text inside the container so that we can show all our text. So I will copy the same text that we have wrote in the UI and will paste it here. I will remove this message and will write a message string here so that I can get all the message from the Firebase. So we'll pass the message here that we have wrote inside the chat collection, and if my username matches with the sent by me that we have wrote inside the Firebase, then it will true, and if not, then it will pass false. And if the snapshot doesn't has the data, then we'll show a circular progress indicator in the center. Now it is done. Let me call the function inside the scaffold widget we have wrote. But before that, I will call a get and set message function here is because I have to pass a database method function inside our message stream here so that he can get the data from Firebase Firestore. So let's move the database.dart file and we'll create a function name get chatroom message. So I am writing future stream query snapshot to get the all the chat, and will pass a chatroom ID inside the get chatroom messages. So Firebase Firestore.instance dot collection chatrooms, and will pass a specific chatroom ID inside the doc file. Now we'll pass a collection name chats here so that we can get all the chat, and we will use dot order by method. So now here comes why I have used a time inside the map. Basically, time is something that will help us to get the message in the sequence manner rather than in the random order. I don't want to show all the message in the random order in our chat page. I want each message to show in the sequence form according to the time when they have sent to the server. Hope that it's clear your point why I have used a time here, and will make a descending to true because I want to show the message which has been sent first rather than the message which has been sent late. So now let's move to the chat page again, and we'll pass that get room message function inside our message stream. So database method dot get chatroom message, and we'll pass a chatroom ID here, and we'll write a set state inside this function, and we want to call this function after the shared preference inside the init state. So I'm writing this function in the on the load method. So it is done. Now let's move to the scaffold widget, and let me call the chat messages here. But before that, I need to change some of the things in the UI so that I can show all the chat message inside the scaffold widget. So I will remove all the chats from the chat page that we have wrote just for the UI, because now our Firebase Firestore is ready. So I will get the message directly from the Firebase. So now I will replace a column widget with a stack widget, because first I want to show a chat message, then I want to show the top app bar and bottom text field. So now inside the stack I will pass a chat message here. Now I'll wrap up the icon with a gesture detector. So when the user will click on the back arrow, then we will move the user to the home page using a push replacement method here. And we'll remove the text from here, and we'll provide a widget.name, because we want to pass the name of that user we are having a chat. So now I'll wrap up the text field with a container here. The reason for wrapping up the container is because when I'm using a stack here, so if I don't move the container in the bottom, then the text field will be shows in the center. So using a container, I will tell the text field to move at the bottom center. Now, as we are using expanded widget here, so the text field will cover the complete width and height of the screen. So we don't want that, so I will remove the expanded widget. These all things I have wrote just for the UI so that to get the hint to all the users how we are going to display the text field. So inside the text field, I will write a suffix icon here. Basically, suffix icon is something which shows the icon inside the text field on the right side of the text field. Icons dot send rounded here will provide some margin to the text field. So margin h inset dot left 20.0, right 20.0, and from the bottom we will wrap up the chat message with a container here, and we will provide some width and height and color to the chat message as I have shown you in the UI. All things will be like that. I'm not doing any changes in the UI, just I am replacing all the functions that we are getting from the Firebase Firestore. So it is done. Now let's perform hot restart, and we'll click to the, we'll search the username here, Shivansh here, and we'll click to the his username. As you can see, we have moved to the chat room here, and inside the chat room you can see all the text that we have stored in Firebase Firestore. The app calls all the messages from the Firebase Firestore and shows us inside the app. We will remove the margin here and will provide the margin at the top. So let me perform hot restart again, and we'll move to the Shivansh chat as it looks now better. Now we'll provide more margin from the bottom, and I will write a text, hey guys, what's up, and we'll click to the send icon. Sorry, I'd forgot to wrap up the gesture detector with the icon widget here. So I'm wrapping up the gesture detector with the icons widget here. I will pass a add message function and will write true. We'll perform hot reload again, and when I click to the send icon here, as you can see the message has been appeared. So now let's move to the Firebase Firestore and check that message has been come on the chat section or not. So as you can see the last message has been updated successfully. So it is done. The message has been successfully sent to the other user, and we can see all the message inside our chat page. So our chat page work is done. Now let's move to the homepage.dart file again, and we want to show all the last chat or previous chat inside our home page. So now let's call all the chat rooms where from the Firebase Firestore where I have the chat with the specific user. So I will create a widget name chat room list here to get all the chat rooms inside our home page. So I will again use a stream builder here and we'll use a snapshot to get all the data from Firebase Firestore, and will check the data if the data is present in Firebase or not. So I'll create a stream here and we'll write a chat rooms stream and we'll pass this stream in our stream builder. So we'll again check the if snapshot.has data, but let me write a stream chat room stream. We'll pass a list view and we'll get the each document detail here. So document ds snapshot.data.docs so that we can get the data from each doc here and we can store the length in our document ds file. Basically we will provide padding to 0 because we don't need any space from the top, and we'll use item count to get all the document length here. So in return I need to pass chat room list user tile here. Basically each user detail. So I will create a stateful widget name chat room list tile here and we'll get a user data and we'll show that in the home page. So I'm writing a string name profile pic URL name. As you can see on the home page, there is a user pic with the user display name. At the down, there is a last message that has been sent to this chat room and with a time at the right. So we'll try to get all the details by passing the specific chat room ID here. So we'll use a get this user info function here. So inside the get this user info function, I will try to get the username using a chatroom ID. So to get the chatroom ID inside the chatroom list tile, I will create a string here. So I'm getting the string from the chat room we have wrote above. So I will write a chatroom list style and will try to get last message, chatroom ID, my username and the time. Basically time is something when the user have the last chat and the time we want to show on the home page. So now I will get the username from the chatroom ID here. Basically, this is a what chatroom ID I'm talking about, and will get the specific username from this chatroom. For example, it will remove the space and hyphen and will replace the my username with the space and will provide the username like Shivans 456. So it is providing the username whose username we don't know from the other side. And with this username, we will go to the users collection and we'll get the all details from the users collection. Let me show how I will do that. So now let's move to the database.dart file and I'm creating the file name get this user info from the users collection that I have shown you in Firebase. So I am creating a future query snapshot get user by username. So we'll get the user detail from the username and we'll write Firebase Firestore dot instance dot collection users will remove the ID and will pass a username. So in string, I'm passing the username here and by dot where method, we will check that if the user is present on the user's collection or not. So if the username matches with the any of the user data inside the user's collection, then we'll get all the details using a dot get method here. So now I will save the each user detail inside the string we have wrote. So for that I have to write a query snapshot equals to await and we'll pass a database method here to get all the data of the specific user. Now we'll store each detail of the user in the string name, his photo, his username, and his document ID using a query snapshot method. So it is done. Now inside the init state, I will pass the get this user info to get all the details first, then move to the container. So now I will copy the same photo, same row that we have made for the UI and will paste it inside the chatroom list tile so that we can get all the user details and we can show that in the form of the list view. Now, if profile pic is null, I'm writing this function because for an instance, if we didn't get the profile pic of the user from the users collection, then it may take some time to load. So we will show that a progress indicator suggesting that the user pic has been loading, and we'll show that using the image.network here, and we'll pass a username inside the text. We'll show the last message and the time when they have sent the last message. Let's move to the chat room message again, and we'll call a chat room list style from there, and we'll show all the chat rooms where the user have the chat with the specific user. So chat room list style will pass a chat room ID here, and the last message we will get from the Firebase, and will pass my username, and in time we will pass the last message when the user have sent on this chat room, and will pass a ds.id to get the specific id of that chat room. So now I need to get the details of all the chat rooms from the Firebase, so I will store that inside the chat room stream we have made. But before that, I need to create a function inside the database.dart file. So let's move to the database.dart, and we'll create a function name get chatrooms, and we'll create a future stream query snapshot. We'll create a string my username, and we'll try to get the my username from the shared preference helper. So Firebase Firestore.instance.collection chatrooms, and will order all the chat room in the server time. So I'm using a time descending to true. Basically, I am using a time again here and descending to true because I want to show the user I have the chat last should be present at the top in the home page, and the user I have chat second, that should be in the second position of the home page. So basically, as you can see on the screen, Shivam Gupta is the first user that we have the last chat first, then the Ayush Sharma is the second user, we have the last chat at the second. This function you see on the bigger apps like WhatsApp Messenger, what I'm talking about. We are trying to add all the feature that this app does to make our app more functional and easy for the user to use. So if you like my idea, do like and subscribe my channel for more videos we have in the store. So by array content, this means in the users array, we will check my username is present or not. If the username is present, then we'll pass that specific chat room here. And if the username is not present in that specific chat room, then we'll don't show that chat room inside our home page. So inside the chat room stream, I will pass a database methods again, get chat rooms. So it is done. Now I'll remove the column from here that we have made just for the UI and will try to call the real data from the Firebase. So I will write chat room list here to get all the chat rooms where I have the chat. So after hot restart, as you can see, our home page is keep on loading. We can see a circular progress indicator here. So we'll rerun the app again using Flutter run command. Rerunning the app, you will find a link inside the terminal as you can see here. So just click to the link. This link will direct you to the Firebase and there he will tell you to create some composite index for our app. Basically composite index will help us to manage the users array time together. It is very necessary to run our home page because we are managing the arrays and time at the same time from the home page. So if you are using a composite index here, then we need to add this index here. So in status, as you can see, it is building. So wait for a few seconds until it gets enabled. So it is enabled as you can see here. Now let's move to the code again as I have done some mistake here. So I will remove the mistakes that I have done. So let's move to the signup.dart page again and we need to save the username in uppercase in shared preference. So just use .to uppercase function inside the share preference and so now move to the main.dart page and we'll call a sign up here and we'll create a new ID again. So I'm writing a flutter run command to rerun our app and we'll make a new ID here so that our shared preference will be saved with the uppercase username. So as you can see, our app has launched successfully. Now in sign up page, I will create a new ID here. So in name, I will write Abhay Sharma here and will give the email, password and confirm password. We'll click on the sign up button, wait for a few seconds. So as you can see, we have registered successfully. Now I will search the username here. So I am writing SHI and will move to the Shivam Gupta chat page and will send the message to Shivam. So I'm writing hello here and will send the message. As you can see, the message has been sent successfully. Now move to the home page again. Now as you can see, we can see the all our chats in our home page. Now we don't need to search again and again. We just need to come to the home page and we will find all the previous chat in our home page. Now I will search one more username. I will write Shivansh here and move to the chat room and will send the message again to him. So I'm writing hello, how are you doing? We'll click on send button. So as you can see, message has been sent successfully. Now let's move to the home page again. And now you can see the two users we have the chat are shown in the home page with the timestamp. Now there would be a case when we will type a long message here, then there will be a overflow error here. Let me show you how it will be resolved. So for an example, I am sending a long chat to a Shivam here. So I am writing hello, such a good day brother. How was your? As I send the message to the Shivam, we'll go to the back to the home page and as you can see, here is some overflow error. Now we need to fix this error here because it will give a bad experience to the user whenever someone send the long text or receive the long text in the chat room. So we'll go to the home page again and we'll wrap up the last message with the container and we'll give a fixed width to the container how much space he can cover and we'll provide a overflow text overflow dot ellipsis in the text because this function will allow the text to cover the specific space in the container. After that it shows the message in the dotted form. If you close this app and if you again open the app from the home screen of your device, then you want to come directly on the home page and click on any of the previous chat and want to start the chat with the specific user rather than signing up again and again and moving to the home page and searching the user and start the chat. Basically, you have seen that function in many of the bigger apps like WhatsApp, Messenger, Facebook, etc., where one time you need to sign up in the app and an app allows you to direct give a entry inside the app whenever you close the app. We will do a same thing inside our app. So let me show how I'll do that. So when I run the flutter run command, as you can see, we move to the sign up page rather than the home page. We have already signed up in the app. We don't need to sign up again and again. So let me close this app again and I will show you it again. Again the same result. So let me add the few function to solve that. So in service file I will create auth.dart function and will give a class name auth method here. Basically auth methods will check that if I sign up into the app or not. If I sign up into the app and I have the ID in this app, then it will allow me to directly go to the home page and start the chat. But if not, he will move me to the sign up page and tell me to create the account first and then move to the home page. So we'll get current user function. So get user function will check if I have the account in this app or not. So now we'll move to the main.dart file again, and we'll use a future builder here to check that if the snapshot has data, basically if my details are present inside the Firebase or Firestore, then he will allow me to directly goes to inside the app. Otherwise, he will tell me to sign up, then move to the home page of the app. So this function will be handled by the snapshot here. So if snapshot will dot has data, so it will check if my data is present, then he will move to the home page. Otherwise, he will move me to the sign up page, and will in future will pass the auth methods what we have wrote inside the service file. We'll rerun the app again, and I will show how it will work. So our app has launched successfully, and as you can see, we have moved to the home page rather than the sign up page. So these functions are working perfectly. Now I will move to the home screen of my device again, and will remove the app from the background, and I will launch the app again. So now as you can see, we directly move to the home page rather than moving the sign up page again and again. So it is done. So now I will show you how the two devices will communicate each other using our app when they are having real-time chat inside the same chat room. On the left side, you can see the screen recording of my real Android device where I run the app. So I will create a new account in my real device. So I am writing here name Satyam Sharma and email satyam244 at the rate gmail.com, and will give password and confirm password. Now I will click on the sign up button, wait for a few seconds. So as you can see, we have registered successfully. Now I will move to the our iPhone emulator, and I will create a new account to this device. So in name I am writing Prem Sharma, and email I will give prem345 at the rate gmail.com. Now password and confirm password. Click on the sign up button. Wait for a few seconds. So as you can see, we have registered successfully. Now I will search for the username Satyam here that we have created the account on my real device. So I will search Satyam here. Now you can see the username here. I will click to the username and will move to the chat page. Now I will write the text inside the text field. So hey, now after sending the message, you can see that Satyam have received the message from Prem in just few seconds. Now I will reply to the Prem, which is our emulator. So as you can see, we have received the message, hey here. Now I will write how are you doing, and will send the message, and we received the message in our emulator in few seconds. So as you can see, our app is running successfully in all the device, and you can see the real time chat what I am talking about. So now Satyam send the message to Prem, and Prem have received the message in just few seconds. So as you can see how the two devices are communicating each other or sending the message very easily, and they are getting the message in just few seconds. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through the chat app development series. If you have enjoyed learning and building with me, I have some exciting news for you. This is just the beginning. I am committed to bringing you more in depth tutorials and amazing projects and valuable content in the future. So, if you want to stay updated and be the first to know when new video drop, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. By subscribing, you will be part of our growing community of developers and learners. Together, we will continue to explore the fascinating world of app development. So, go ahead, click the subscribe button, and let's embark on this exciting journey. So, keep coding, keep having fun. Till then, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.